Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Giga Geeks podcast. I am your host, the Giga Gamer Dad, and with me tonight I have DC the Trash Panda. How are you, Panda?
I'm good. I'm tired. I emptied out my storage unit yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I took out 4 large totes of just clothes and things that I obviously didn't need. And then,
Getting ready for the move, right?
yep. And then, like,
Mm.
3 big black bags of trash. So, it's a good day. How's your week
That's
been?
great.
We didn't see you last
Um,
week.
yeah, a little bit about that. The reason why is because I was a little stressed, a little depressed. Um, my job has this thing where it's seniority based, and twice a year all the jobs that we have available to us go up for bid. Well,
Mm.
I bid for absolutely anything I could and
Oh
got
my
my
god.
last choice essentially.
Oh, pff.
So it not only that, what happens is if somebody senior to you bids on a job that you were on, then you get bumped out of that job and now you have to go somewhere. So you have the ability to bump somebody else that's junior to you. And the issue being is my seniority is kind of middle ground. Like I'm senior enough to hold a decent job, but I'm too junior to hold a good job.
The
And so
struggle.
I'm still kind of stressed because I'm still at that point. This might be our last Tuesday. We might have to adjust fire and go to a different day. I don't know yet. I'm still waiting to find out if I get bumped off of the job I own now, which I'm going to be going to the overnights if not. So it's not. Yeah, overnights suck, but they're not that bad. I'm a night owl, so it's honestly
No.
my my preferred schedule. Um, it's better than like midday stuff where I have to leave at like noon to get to work because I spend most of
Yeah.
my morning doing shit I want and then like hanging with the kids and the wife, and then I have to go to work. Like my motivation is shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, oh, also got headbutt by my kid the other day, so I have two fat lips that are painful.
Well, I guess as far as what news goes, I got a job and potentially an
Nice.
apartment waiting for me in Virginia. So,
That's fantastic.
fingers crossed on the apartment. The job is like mine. So,
Hairstylist still?
yep. Yep.
That's
That's
great.
sports clips. So, totally different, which it's going to be nice for me because I loathe doing women's cuts. I mean, they still come in. I loathe them because they take so long, and I don't have to do hair color anymore. So I'm happy. It's
I
like
can
being a barber
understand that.
without being a barber. So I'm like,
Hmm.
heck yeah.
And you get to talk about video games.
Oh my gosh. Can I tell you about my disappointment?
Okay, so off air, you said you had to complain about a few things, a video game and the book. So
Oh my
what's the
gosh.
first? Let's
It's
go
it's
into the first.
literally the same thing, just in 2 different worlds.
Oh no.
So I hadn't touched Hogwarts in like a month or so. So I was
Hmm.
like, oh, like I'll just play like my Hufflepuff house because like I need to finish the main storyline.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally turned it on. It was the last quest.
Like you beat the game.
Yeah. So I was super pissed. And I'm sitting there talking to Greg and I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, cool. Okay, so Hufflepuff house is now complete, like main story wise. So then I pick up, what was I on? Miss and Fury?
Yep.
The third,
The fourth Akatar book.
the fourth
Actually,
Akatar
it's
book.
like 3.5.
Yeah. I had 2 chapters left. I was so mad.
Took you forever, huh?
I
I know
know,
you
and
said you put it down.
I put it down for like a week. 2 chapters left.
So my wife and I talked about that because I brought up your issue with um Feyre's point of view and everybody else's.
It's-
And she had worded it this way that Feyre's is kind of more in that first person because it's a transition book. Like it's the rest of Sarah J. Maas's stuff is in like third person,
oh yeah.
omniscient, and so it's kind of transitioning from Feyre's point of view into everybody else's to get into Silver Flames, because Silver Flames is going to be third person all the way through.
Oh. But then I noticed, so it was Feyre's and Rhysand's that was like first person view, and it drove me insane. It was
I get it.
bugging.
I get it. Luckily, it wasn't a full book.
No, luckily. But yep,
So
that was my complaint.
so you're done with that, and now you're gonna start Silver Flames, right?
I'm ready because Greg went to bed early, so that's all I'm doing tonight.
Silver Flames is my favorite of the series.
I know.
I feel like it has the best like character development for a character that a lot of people hated. I think you're gonna love it.
We'll see. But yep, that was my complaint. I had one quest left for Hogwarts and 2 chapters left of my book. And I'm like, now what? I'm like, this is stupid.
Well, I mean, it's not too bad though. Like you
Well,
finished
no.
2 things.
But it's just like when you don't touch something for so long. I do that with TV shows too. I'm like,
I
oh, I
feel
don't want to
that
watch the whole thing, and then like I watch like one more episode and the season's done.
I definitely do that with video games. Like my wife and I just watched all the Lord of the Rings movies, the Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King, and she sat down the extended versions in one sit, not like one movie a night, but the entire movie in one night for 3 nights.
Solid.
I was like, damn, I'm impressed. Like, and she legitimately asked questions because I think now that she's reading more into fantasy, she's kind of getting into like more fantasy things. So she was paying attention more to like what was going on in
Yeah,
Lord of the
'cause
Rings.
there's
And I
more.
was,
Yeah.
I would be lying if I said I didn't get frustrated because a lot of the questions she would ask could have been answered by just watching the movie. But I understand, like,
Yeah.
because there's a few times where she'd ask a question and the answer would literally come up in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
It's just like shh.
I have to like keep myself from doing that. I really do. Like Star Wars is the same way. I remember when we were dating, we went to go see like the newest Star Wars movie, and in the
God.
middle, like as the movie was starting, she leaned over to me to ask like what was going on, and I was like, I don't know. Like I have not seen this movie, and I said it in a way that like made her feel like I was really mad, and I wasn't. I was just I just it's just one of those things. Like I can't answer your questions unless I know what the hell is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get the same way with my child, where well, dude, like, what's this? Dude, I'm literally experiencing this with you. I have no
Because
idea.
in my opinion, like a movie, video games, and books are kind of the same when it comes to like figuring out what's going on. You only know as much as you've read. You only know as much as you've
Right.
played. And so I was like, come on, just watch the movie. But she did that. And speaking of which, I've kind of got it. I'm a really big fan of like the Lord of the Rings games. And
See,
so
I've never played any of the games.
I just downloaded Shadow of Mordor and War.
Is that the one that
Was
came out in like 2018 or 19?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think I got the names mixed up. Let me look it up. Because I own them both twice, like on my Steam Deck and on my Xbox. So I was going to go play them again. Okay, so it's Shadow of War. Shadow of War is the second one, and then okay, I don't need this. Stop. Why is it so hard to find this?
Draven, what's the other game?
Well, I
I
mean,
know
give me
he
a second. I
knows.
have to
'Cause
add
I
like
know there's
the.
Mordor in the name.
I mean, I'm gonna have them right here in a second. So
One. Shadow of War. And what's the other one? I guess it's Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, and Shadow of War. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. That's so dumb. Why did they name it so close to each other like that?
Just to piss you off.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, wait a second. I definitely know what this is. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor. So I
That's
downloaded
great.
both of those. I just need to play them again. But I've also found two games that I grew up loving, and it was Battle for Middle-earth and Battle for Middle-earth 2. And I am currently in the process of installing those on my computer.
I went through and downloaded like every free Square Enix game that I possibly could. So I'm doing Octopath Traveler right now, which is
that on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like, you know what? Like I say I love all Square Enix games, but like I don't know half of them. So I was like, it's time to up my game a little bit. So far, I'm really liking Octopath because it's like pretty much multiple points of view, and every person has a different story, but everybody ties in together.
I own the first one. I bought it for my Switch, and I've never touched it. And that seems like a game that I'd really like to play handheld. I was thinking about buying 1 and 2 when they're on sale on Steam, so I can play them on my Steam Deck at some point. But my catalog is so fucking deep. Like getting around to it is definitely like the biggest thing, especially with like the latest news. Speaking of fantasy titles, Baldur's Gate 3 has its 8th and final patch from Larian, which adds a ton of new things. They have a full 50-page dev notes on just the patch alone.
Jesus.
They added a ton of different classes or subclasses to classes that were already there. So if you guys want to play Baldur's Gate 3, 12 new subclasses. Yeah, exactly. So there is a ton of fixes, ton of bug fixes, ton of things that were added, 12 new subclasses. Like if you want to dive into Baldur's Gate 3, now is your time. I have purposely waited to do this because I have it for both on Steam and my Xbox. And I have not had a chance to really dive into it like I want because I know it's a game that's going to either take over my life or a game I'll never want to touch again. So I waited until it was complete to actually finally dive into it. Another fantasy game, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the remake has finally been leaked and seemingly confirmed, coming out April 21st, which is next week. And it will be coming day and date to Game Pass if that's the case. So if you want to play Oblivion, it's coming out on Monday. There's been pictures and shit all over the place of like screenshots, but comparing them side by side. And I honestly can't wait to play Oblivion. I have Oblivion on Steam. I've never played it on the 360. It was a 360 launch title. Never got to play it. Partly because I wasn't kind of into that at the time. And I tried playing the current version on my Steam Deck, and I was like, I don't know what it is I don't like about this, but I can't get into it. And so I'm excited to play the remake in an effort to try and dive into the Elder Scrolls Oblivion
Now
once
that we've
again.
grown up a little bit.
Well, I have always respected it. Like I've played Arena, I've played Daggerfall, I've played Morrowind. Like Oblivion was hard to get into for me. I don't know what it was.
And I've seen it
So
played a lot, but
oh yeah, I had buddies that played the shit out of it, but it at
like my
the
ex
time.
only got so far into it and then he'd like restart.
Well, I've at the time that I actually got or tried getting into it, I've already been spoiled with Skyrim. So
Yeah.
going back to play a I would some people would argue that Oblivion's like systems were a lot better, but I don't know. Like I just haven't been
I
able
couldn't
to.
tell you.
Doom the Dark Ages comes out next month. Yep, definitely excited for that. I will be getting the premium edition for Doom. That's a day one title for me.
But
What
have they
else?
said what you can, or like where you can play Oblivion?
Game Pass.
Watches it's only on cloud for me. So I'm trying. That's the shitty part. I'm trying not to get my hopes up over all these new games that are coming out.
I don't know. You could always buy the 360 version.
I don't want to buy the 360 version.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna buy it because why not? I don't think I'm gonna buy it day
Yeah.
one, but I'm hoping that the remake adds all the DLC that was added later on down the road for it as well, so I don't have to worry about missing out on some of the content that was there back in the day.
Oh. So yeah,
Remember
even
when they'd sell a Game of the Year edition and it'd have all the DLC already on it? No?
sure.
Okay, just me. It was like at 360 had like the Platinum Hits edition, and it was everything, all the DLC included.
Huh. See, and I wasn't really gaming all that much back then. It was definitely just Call of Duty, maybe Halo. But that was like scrounging up all of our change to go to GameStop.
Well, I remember when we were little, my brother and I kind of stayed home, called out sick, so to speak. And there's a GameStop a few miles from the house. And
Man,
I sent my little brother on his bicycle with I think I remember seeing it for like 11 or 12 bucks.
oh my God.
And I sent him with like 15 and he rode all the way down there to get it one day and while my parents were at work. And I stayed home just in case somebody called the house. And I remember like deleting the messages from the school when they left a message on the answering machine.
Oh my gosh. Back in the day before like calling work or cell phone.
Yeah. And
Oh, Jesus.
it was the Platinum Hits edition, and that's why I remember it because it had all the DLC. And my brother and I were so excited because we loved the first one, and 2 was the first time it was 2-player, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
I think 2 was 2-player. We want to make sure we can play. So,
Oh, geez. Well, goodness, even like Smite 2 dropped, and I can play it on cloud, but that's a joke.
mhm.
So I'm like, ugh.
Another game that just got its update for its first season of the year, and it's still kicking, is Skull and Bones.
Really?
They overhauled a shit ton of it. A ton of
Huh.
it. They dropped their roadmap as well. Large ships are coming here in the second season. So we got this season with one
Large
medium ship,
ships.
and then large ships come out next season. And land combat is coming out in the third season. So
Oh,
a lot to
jeez.
look forward to with Skull and Bones. I am very excited. I've played every season, knocked out every single battle pass. This is one game I'm sticking to. They added ascendancy to weapons so you can make them stronger. Ships have more upgrades that you can get. They also allow you to hide armor. So for those of you that have these really dumb looking armors but have the perks that you would like, you can now hide the armor. Because I definitely have armor like that. I have armor that like does not match any of my other shit, cosmetics wise. Terrible. That's right, Draven. Space Marine 2 also had its update today, releasing the Space Wolves. I'm excited to get into that because Space Wolves are my chapter.
New champion. Huh. See, and I never knew about Space Marine up until Grail. So
I've gotten into Warhammer more and more in the last year or two.
what was it?
I have
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves, yeah. They're like space Vikings for the Warhammer universe. We definitely talked about this.
Oh yeah.
If I were
Grail's your guy when it comes to this one.
there's two different factions I would go to, either Space Marines or the World Eaters, and lately I've been going Leagues of Votann because they're space dwarves and I need space dwarves in my life. Speaking of which, let's look at this. The mugs for Deep Rock Galactic. They finished their they finished their Kickstarter campaign, and it was 395% funded. They only needed $283,000. They made $1,122,000,000, and I already picked out my mug, waiting for that bad boy to come, baby.
Jesus Christ!
Space.
They really had low expectations for themselves.
Yeah, they did. They didn't think Deep Rock Galactic was going to be so big. One of my favorite games. It's one of those games I can bounce off and just hop in and just keep playing someday. Dwarves, the Space Wolves, World Eaters, and Leagues of Votann are the three factions I would paint if I had the figures.
Oh jeez.
But I don't.
I have a friend that does that very regularly.
I have another two expensive hobbies.
Your Legos.
And my video games, and so I can only afford two at the moment. Speaking of leaks, Lego had their next Star Wars like May lineup leak as well, and I need those.
What was that?
At least I'm building again.
Oh my gosh, is that a leg?
It's a leg. It's a nice leg, don't you think? I'm building C-3PO right now. Like it's my sit down and decompress for a few minutes thing. Battle Sisters are awesome. Love the Battle Sisters. Not that I'd want to paint them.
Big bird.
Probably.
Just like
I can't paint the Battle Sisters one-handed. That's my issue. They're skimpy-clad space nuns.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
I mean, my Battle Sisters will be painted, but they'll look like a 2-year-old did it.
So about those leaks.
Oh, it's gonna leak, I'll tell you that.
Oh my god. I hate it here.
They leaked two more helmets. One for Jango Fett and another for another trooper of some kind. So I'm excited to get those
helmets.
Yeah.
Or
basically like this.
Oh, your little trooper.
Yeah.
Look at how cute.
This better be cute. It's like $300.
Jesus Christ.
No. I take that back. When it released, it was $59.99 because
But
nobody
now,
expected these helmets to take off. Nobody picked them up, and now that they're hard to find, these are worth 200. This one is like worth, I think, $200, and then
Jesus.
the TIE Fighter pilot is worth $3.
Redonkulous.
Well, I pride myself in owning them all so far, so I want to keep it that way. I just
See,
got to build them.
the child and I went to the mall the other day, which was the death of me. But there's like, so there's this store called Box Lunch, and it's like,
I know what it is.
yeah,
It's like a
all the
Japanese thing, right?
Disney. Well, it's like all Disney. So there's also like Star Wars. Um, there's some Snoopy stuff there. There's SpongeBob. Like it's just a bunch of like random, like just nerd shit. And of course, there's Harry Potter. So I have the Gryffindor Deathly Hollows purse that I got off of Facebook for like $50, and they're like $150. So hair flip for me. But they came out with black. And I'm like, I don't need it. I'm like SpongeBob with like at Sandy's house needing water. Just
Yeah,
like
that's how I am whenever like a leak like this happens, because they're also releasing a new Ultimate Collector Series Lego Slave One, Django Slave One. The Ultimate Collector Series are like the big sets, like my Millennium Falcon that's to scale for the minifigures. That's a UCS set. But I understand, like anytime like something new like that comes out, I'm mental. I can't
like,
just
I
like
don't need it.
that's all I
I
think
don't
about.
need
It's
it.
absolutely all I think about. And I have so many Legos taking up my spot. I just need to like sit down and build them.
Yeah. But do you even have space to like put them?
Yeah, I have quite a bit of space. Like this whole shelf is nearly empty. It's just holding a few knickknacks like cleaning supplies. Like I need to actually do something with the shelf.
Oh, jeez. The struggle.
So that's why I'm like slowly building these, and the C3PO I have won't fit in those shelves I have, so I have to put a shelf somewhere else to put R2D2 and C3PO next to each other because they're to scale for each other. It's just finding places to put it all.
The
Like
struggle.
I have a lot of space. I just gotta like Tetris it.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking forward to with buying, but we'll get there when we get there.
I mean, considering I'm usually the only one down here, I may end up getting rid of this second sofa and like put another set of shelves in somewhere. Yeah.
The life decisions of an adult.
I know, right? But speaking of like adult children, I do have an article from PC Gamer, and I cannot take PC Gamer seriously at all because they like you're supposed to be on the side of the gamer here, and they're obviously not. The article says this is by Tyler Wilde, published 23 hours ago, and it says young men are playing video games all day instead of getting jobs because they can mooch off free health care, claims a congressman. So we'll read the article and we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
To justify Medicaid cuts, House Speaker Mike Johnson says the health care program leads to able-bodied young men playing video games instead of working. Medicaid is a U.S. health insurance program for people with low incomes. It's funded by states and federal government. And like most government programs that help people in some way, it's one of Trump's administration's targets for cuts. Why? Because video games, of course. More specifically, part of the plan is to implement work requirements for Medicaid eligibility. This is currently only a feature of the program in Georgia, and to justify adding this administration hurdle for patients and states, Republicans are claiming that access to taxpayer-funded healthcare is causing young men to waste all their time playing video games instead of working. No one has talked about cutting one benefit in Medicaid to anyone who's duly owed. What we've talked about is returning work requirements. So, example, you don't have able-bodied young men on a program that's designed for single mothers and elderly and disabled. They're draining resources from people, said House Speaker Mike Johnson last week. Now, there's a few other things here, but we're going to end there. And if they're able-bodied, I don't think they could get Medicaid.
That's where I've always been, like, on that weird side of the fence. Because, like, when I was married, I had nothing. I didn't qualify for state, and I didn't get supplied insurance through my old job, and then insurance through my ex-husband's job was outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
And then my daughter couldn't get state insurance because I was married and able to get insurance for her. And then now as a single mom, she's covered, but I'm not. Up until I moved in with my parents, but the demographics of where I live is minorities. In which case, I know I don't look it or speak it, but I am half Mexican. So, like, next thing I know, like, I qualify for state insurance living in this city.
Well, another thing is that a lot of insurances will allow, like, kids to stay on the insurance until they're at least 25.
Yeah, and that was my case growing up, just because, like, all of my parents worked out at the Hanford nuclear site. So, but it's
all I can say though is I think Mike Johnson's an idiot, because the way I see it, it says here in February, healthcare researcher KFF reported that the majority of people who use Medicaid do work. Yeah. 64% of Medicaid recipients under the age of 65 work full or part-time, according to organization analysis. And most of those who are not working have an illness or disability, are caregivers, or are in school. So this is why I think Mike Johnson's an idiot. Because I feel like the able-bodied men he thinks are staying home playing video games are actually working full-time, but they don't make enough to be able to get their own insurance because our fucking economy sucks.
It sucks. Like, even so, my job now offers medical, dental, and vision. Once I found out I can get state insurance, I'm like, okay, I'll just pay for dental and vision because that's like $5 out of my paycheck. But, like, when I was dealing with stuff with my back, I was like this close to getting the insurance through work. I was like, yeah, I'm living at home, but I'm also trying to save for a house. I'm like, that's still like a quarter of my paycheck.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Insurance is expensive.
I'm like, like, even when I got my concussion a couple years ago, I told my dad, I was like, I should have just taken the brain bleed. He's like, but you didn't have one. I'm like, well, if I had one, I should have just taken it. The funeral would cost less than these medical bills that I just had. And so
I was telling my wife that I am very damn lucky that my union gives us some good insurance.
Yeah, that too. And I think even with that whole article, like abled men, it's like,
but like it said, like 65% of the people that are on it are working either part-time or full-time. Like, they are working. The issue being is that they don't make enough to be able to get anything
insurance.
better.
Yeah. Well, and even with me getting ready to move across the country, like that's the only thing I qualify for with me moving. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, but what's going to happen once I do move and when my work offers me medical insurance? It's like, am I going to lose it or am I going to be one of the lucky few?
Hmm.
Because it's like, in my case, it's like, hey, I'm just relocating and I'm not going to have, you know, coverage for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because and that was the other crappy part was when I was married, since I wasn't covered, got screwed on my taxes. It's like, okay, either you lose money through your work having to pay for medical insurance through your job, or you get Medicaid and not get penalized, or just not have insurance and get penalized. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So it's like, yeah, of course these
No.
people are going through other sources because it's cheaper. But
Yeah.
God
And
forbid it's guys that play video games.
I just think it's so dumb. I
My
just
hot
the,
my hot take.
Congress is trying to I mean the whole like regime right now is trying to find excuses to blame certain demographics for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
like, "Oh, they're ruining the economy." Well, no, we're not. You are. But nobody's going to tell them that.
my hot take too is like, okay, so these men that aren't working and are just playing video games all day, at least there's less drunk drivers on the road. Like there's no like stupid people going outside.
That doesn't that lead to the other argument with these women now that don't want to date gamers because they're like, "Oh, why don't you do something with your time?" But they are the same women that don't have a hobby.
I had a mom today that was like, and this is the second mom that I've had in the last couple years that's like, all my teenager does is just want to sit at home and play video games. I'm like, he could be dying in a field with alcohol poisoning like we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
And then both times they're like, oh, you know what? I'm not even mad anymore. I'm like, you're welcome. I'm like, you know where your kid's out on a Saturday night. You know he's not getting in trouble. You know he's not going to have a criminal record
Mhm.
before he's 18. He's sitting there at home.
Well, I remember when my wife and I were dating, her friends would ask, like, if she'd go out, hang out, go drinking, and go to the club, they'd be like, "Does your boyfriend know that you're out here?" And she's like, "Yeah." They're like, and he's okay with that?" She's like, "Yeah, because he's sitting at home playing video games." Like, and
Fun
I
bother.
absolutely like exactly. I'm like, I already have a list. I have a pizza ordered. I have some wings. I have 3-ish hours to try and get what I want to done in this video game. Imma hammer it out.
Oh
I st
no.
I still do that. My
It's
mother
just
Jord Jordan had her friends come over, and they went out drinking for the first time in God knows how long the other
aw.
night, and my mother-in-law took both the kids.
What
Both the
did you
kids.
do?
I don't know, but I owe her a lot. Like, so so the girls came over, I'm upstairs, she got this like alcoholic drink and I can pound Celsius like no tomorrow and I took a sip. I was like, oh, I can pound this. Straight up finished it one go. And I was like, I'll feel this here in a little bit. Being diabetic has its perks. Um, but I like as soon as they all left to do whatever they were doing, I think they came back at like midnight, 1 o'clock. And I had to work the next day. So I went to bed at like midnight. And I remember being woken up by Jordan coming in, like, "Hey, we're home." I was like,
No.
"Cool, I'm going back to sleep." Like, but up until then, like, it was I think I was playing Starfield. I was playing a new save on Starfield, and I put in 6 hours that night. I was like, "This is great."
Like, it's just I don't understand the whole mentality of like, oh, all they do is play video games. Like, on this whole article aspect and women not wanting to date gamers. It's like
Well, the, the
just
the way that like a lot of other YouTubers have been like describing it is that these women that complain about that just they don't want to see us happy. I mean, I absolutely love my video games. I like my Legos. They make me happy. But I also like get up, I take care of the kids. It's those
yeah. It's
men that can't do anything but that give the rest of us a bad name.
yeah. And it truthfully like it's weird that they're saying that it's abled men.
Exactly, Draven. People should have
Like
hobbies. But most of these women
yeah,
also don't have hobbies. They think that getting their eyebrows done and their lipstick and makeup done is a hobby. That's not a hobby. That's self-care.
that's just yeah. And even then I
I love it when I listen to like female YouTubers argue on our behalf. Like
oh yeah. No,
it's so funny to me. Like I'm like, I don't even have to say anything. This is great.
but even then, like it's on the opposite side of it too is the strong emphasis here. The boys that trash talk women that are better at the game than them. It's like just face it, you suck. It's just and it's bottom line. Like you see and there's definitely like a I would say I guess like a vanity thing behind it because the girls that are big titty goth girls that are like decent at playing games, they're not getting trash talk just because they're hot.
You,
Like
I mean,
societal standard hot.
are those considered pick me girls? Is that what the term is?
I
I
don't
I
even know
I was
what would
trying to
be
like figure out what a pick me girl is, and
I've
because it was
never
brought
really
up
been
in
able to
something.
figure it out because like
You,
like Greg has joked
I,
that he's like, "Oh my gosh, don't be such a pick me," because I'm
I
like,
got it.
"No, like I'm here to
I looked it up.
what is it?" Because
Okay,
I have
so
no idea.
I didn't either. So we're gonna figure this out together. A pick me girl is a derogatory slang term, obviously, for a woman who seeks male validation by acting in ways that are often seen as distancing herself from other women and conforming to traditional gender roles, often at the expense of other women.
Okay, wait, repeat
I'm still
traditional.
trying. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it too. Let me reread it again, and then we can go to a more detailed explanation. A pick me girl is a derogatory slang term for a woman who seeks male validation by acting in ways that are often seen as distancing herself from other women and conforming to traditional gender roles, often at the expense of other women.
Okay,
Okay,
the
so
traditional part.
let's go into the more detailed explanation. For the seeking male validation, it says the core of the term is a woman who actively tries to gain attention and approval from men, often by subtly or overtly implying she's not like other girls. And then distancing from other women, a pick me girl may do this by denigrating or belittling other women, their interests or behaviors, often portraying herself as better or more masculine in some way.
Ah, see, Meepy made it make sense. Girls who embarrass other girls in front of guys to be cute.
Yeah, that's dumb. I I don't
See,
I
that's
don't
why
think
I
that's
like
cute at
Meepy
all.
though. She's like my one.
And it says conforming to stereotypes. She might adopt behaviors or interests that are traditionally associated with men, or she might feign an interest in things that she believes men find attractive, even if she doesn't genuinely enjoy them. So, see, I know my wife is definitely not pick me. I know she doesn't. She may like Star Wars now, but when we dated, she didn't want anything to do with it. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. Like when I told her I had the extended version, she's like, "Nope, not watching them, not doing it."
Okay.
And then she gave she told me, like, listen, I'll sit down and watch them. There has to be like a, a safe word because I can't sit through the whole thing. Like, I want, like, let's watch
You
half.
need a safe
I
word.
will watch it because you enjoy it, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I
Well,
didn't think
yeah.
I don't care if she likes it. Like, I like it, and for her to go out of her way to do something I like means a lot to me.
Well, and that's one thing, like, I've told Greg, like, One Piece. He loves One Piece. I've tried watching it. I just can't.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean if we were to sit down on the couch and he's like, "Oh, I feel like watching One Piece," like, cool, we'll watch it.
Yeah. And I mean, the same goes for like me too. Like, my wife wants to go do things I do not want to go do, and I do it because I love her. Oh, she
Like
wants
going to
to
the
go leave the
bookstore.
house to go shopping or take the kids out to the park. Like, I love my kids. Going to the park is the last thing I want to do. Keyword there, the last thing I want to do. Um, but I will put on my shoes and go with my
It's
kids and my
just
wife to the park.
it's just the
Um,
human sacrifices that we make within a dynamic, but yeah.
yeah. Another example is this could include a woman who constantly talks about how she doesn't like makeup, prefers sports to shopping, or claims to be not like other girls who are too girly.
See, and that's even what Meepy just said too. She's like, girls who make comments like, "That's so
Hmm.
childish. I'd never wear that much makeup." And I'm like, girls, Meepy's got it.
And it
But
says the term pick me girl is often used to criticize behaviors that stem from internalized misogyny, where a woman believes that she must conform to male centric ideals to gain attention and validation. Okay, see, now that makes sense to me. That's so stupid. I, I don't
and
think I have.
see,
I, I I don't know if I could respect a woman that does that.
and now after like breaking it down, I see why Greg made it like a joke towards me because I will first of all say that I'm not the one that said it. Weston is always the one that says, "Well, you're not like other girls.
Wes
You're
wants a
like
pick
one
me
of the
girl.
guys." Which is because it's funny to me when he's like, "Hey, can I ask you some advice like from a girl? But I guess you're not like other girls, so I don't know." And I'm like, Weston, getting help from any other female is better than
Wes
not getting help.
Wes
I
is
love
that kind
him
of
for
guy.
it.
Wes is that kind of guy that would go for a pick me girl.
I know.
Like,
I love him, but I know.
because when I met, what attracted me to my wife is that girly girl. She likes to wear dresses. She likes to wear the makeup. She likes to dress up. Like, I absolutely hate dressing up, but she looks really good dressed up. I'll tell you that. And
Aw.
she's very independent. Like, she has 4 degrees. She went to school. She already had her first 2 degrees before we met. She was starting her dual masters. Like, she doesn't need me at all. Like, and she is her own person. Like, she didn't conform to I'm sure she has like done something to appeal to me more.
Well,
Cuz I mean, who
yeah,
hasn't? You know what I
it's
mean?
and that's even an argument that like that people try to bring up to me about like I always ask Greg his opinion on what like I'm thinking I want to do this with my hair and he's like, "Well, do what you want." I'm like, "But would you like it on me?" People are like, "Why would you
Yeah.
ask him that?" I'm like, "Cuz he's the one that has to look at me. Like I want him to
Mhm.
enjoy what he
Oh,
sees."
my
Like
wife does that
it's
too. She knows I like longer hair, and so she keeps her hair long cuz I
yeah,
like
I
it on
tried.
her. Um the only thing I
Um,
never understood is her eyebrows. Like, yes, you do you, but the eyebrows, she looks beautiful with or without them being done. Like,
it, but it's just the thing. We all have our
yeah,
things.
yeah. Listen, if it makes her feel better, I want her doing what makes her feel better.
Okay, Greg. Wait, it's really any girl that goes out of their way to drag and belittle other women to make themselves look better. That's not being a pick me. You've been picked. You are just trying to keep your man attracted. Yeah. See, Meepy
Exactly.
knows. But even like I could see where somebody from the outside that has that kind of mentality of like, oh, she's a pick me, like if it was like me and you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I just know the vibe of the room.
I would never. I'd
But
never
I'm
think
not,
of you
but
as
it's
a
like
pick me
I'm not
girl because
sitting
I know
here
your
trying to,
interests.
yeah, but exactly, like I'm not sitting here trying to be something that I'm not because I'm in a lobby full of guys. But it's like I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
lobby full of all of my man's best friends that are all sharing the same brain cell.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just I don't know. That's one of, but I can see from the from the outside looking in with how some girls' mentalities are. It's like, oh, like no, I'm just here because my man's here and my man wants me to be here.
I
And if
mean,
that means like hanging out with a bunch of his guy friends, like to play Rainbow Six Siege, like sure, I'll be the bottom board bitch. Like,
in the same vein, men do the same thing. Like it's not just one sided here. Like
no.
there are definitely men that will say that they like one thing and then like have no intention to. Because I know I've done it. Like when my wife was describing like Harry Potter, oh, I love Harry Potter too. Listen, Harry Potter is at the bottom of the list of things I like when it comes to like movie franchises and like because it goes Star Wars, like Alien, Jurassic Park, Terminator, RoboCop, like all those come way before Harry Potter. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like Harry Potter. That's not going to be my first go-to.
Yeah, then there's me. But it's like
Yeah.
but it's one of those things too where if your wife wants to sit down and have a Harry Potter marathon, are you going to deny her her happiness on watching a Harry Potter marathon?
No, she does it at least 3 or 4 times a year.
3 or 4 times a year?
Whenever she's sad.
Okay, fair.
And we know we know what kind of month that is.
Just existing around men doesn't mean you want every single. Yeah, I'm good just having my one dingus. All you
That
other
that was
dinguses already have
that
women too.
that was the other thing. Like all the girls came over, like, and they were like, "Oh, I'm your second wife." I was like, "Oh God, don't do that." And then the
No,
other one's like, "Third." I'm like, "No,
no.
no, I can only handle
I
one of
just
you.
want.
I don't need 2 more." Like I have barely the energy to wake up and get out of bed some days. I don't want
We don't need 2 more extra
I don't need 2
responsibilities.
more extra. I'm already trying to feed 3 more mouths of my own. I mean, at least one's an architect, so maybe maybe they'd help out.
Oh my god.
It just made me laugh. But
It's
yeah, that's what I've been watching on
it's
YouTube. Just random shit.
it's definitely something that like I feel like Pick Me has grown in an unnecessary way since shutdown and the
Mhm.
oversaturation of streamers.
Well, there's also like incels too that are just. I mean, there's also femcells, like just like incels. There's femcells about these people that don't think they have a chance, but they don't put themselves out to have a chance in the first place. God, you gotta love the human psyche sometimes.
No. I don't.
I meant that sarcastically.
Okay, I was like, no.
I
It's
just
it's interesting where we've gone as far as like technology goes and the slang that has developed.
well, I mean, with the
Like,
ability to access almost anything you want to, like that definitely doesn't help.
no.
Because like the people that are unconventionally attractive look anywhere else that they can find that was at any point anyone who is remotely attractive and speaks to any male, they are instantly a pick me.
Yeah. Seeing like I know Meepy gets it too, but it's like because it was usually her, me, Reckless, Steve, Jay, and like a couple other random guys. Like Greg would jump in with us and like we'd all play Call of Duty. But it's like I feel like since we had 2 girls on the team, it wasn't as bad. But even I don't know. I would
I just
say there was more pick me boys trying to like, "Oh, can I join in on your lobby?" Like,
well, yeah, because
sure,
they think,
but we're
oh, I can get in. This girl likes video games. I can get in on that.
yeah, like,
Listen,
"Oh,
I don't
I'm
like
a
half the other
woman."
people that play video games. What makes you think I'm gonna like a girl that plays video games? Just saying. Like I like you, but that's because we were actually friends.
But it's never towards the men. But it's like there's been a couple times where like Meepy and I will be like in a Discord voice chat and like
Mhm.
I'm starting to get tired and this girl can pop off till like 5 o'clock in the morning. And
I
I'm
remember.
like
I played a few games with you guys.
and there's been a couple times like we've done Smite and it's like she'll be streaming and some random will pop in and like I always make sure before I leave I'm like, "Are you good if I like go or do you want me to stay?" Cuz these guys be weird. She's like, "Nah, it's fine." I'm like, "Okay." But then she'll
Sounds
joke
like
that I
she can handle
abandon her.
herself.
Oh yeah. No, it's just it's so weird cuz it's like the whole opposite side of like, "Oh my god, a gamer girl."
I hate that mentality. Like, why can't just people play video games and be happy? Like, it sucks that you have that demographic that literally plays games to get clicks. But
Yeah. I don't get it. It's
but for
just
those that just want to like get out there and knock some dude's dick in the dirt in Call of Duty, like, good on them.
shout out to Meepy.
Like it's just I just want people that want to play games to be happy playing what they want.
Yeah, it's so simple. It's so weird.
Like I'm gonna go play Skull and Bones, and every time I'm on like Reddit or like I love Starfield. Starfield's my go-to depression game. It's what I play when I don't have anything else to play. And I see all these posts on like Reddit. Oh, that's a shit game. Then don't play it, guy. Like
Then
I'm
don't
gonna
play.
play it because it makes me happy. Fuck yourself. Just walk off. Like
Go play
you
a
know,
game that makes you happy, and I'm gonna shit on it. Like I,
they don't have a
it's just
cuckold simulator. That's why. That's a game idea. That'll sell gangbusters on Steam.
well, I guess you now have a new goal in life.
Oh my god.
We're gonna make this new game. Link up with
I'm
the makers of that one Pokemon for adults game.
oh he already had a cuckold in there. They have a cum simulator. I'm sure they do. I just I just the people that complain about games, like they have nothing better to look forward to in their life
Or the people
than
playing the games.
yeah, like they're more worried about I see it all the time watching video game YouTubers and like listening to like video game personalities, especially like if they're against if they're most of them are Sony fans. That's what I found is that
Oh, yeah.
they don't want anybody on another console playing their games because they think that they have some kind of investment in on Sony and they shouldn't have to share. And they get so butthurt when something of theirs goes somewhere else and somebody else says, "Oh, I love this game." And they're
Oh,
like, "Oh,
how
but did you
dare
play it
you?
day 1 on PlayStation?" "No, I'm playing it on
No.
PC. Fuck off."
Like,
Like it's or they're like, "Ha ha ha, we're getting your games." Bro, nobody cares.
Like, I
Like,
don't care.
Sea of Thieves has been on Xbox for almost 10 years now. What? Well, you're just getting it? Like, nobody cares? Like,
Oh my
I
gosh, that
just
just
love.
made me think of Jurassic Park. Dawson, we have Dawson here.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah, oh
cares.
yeah, all the time, all the time. Like, I just like, why can't people just mind their own business and play what they want to play? Like, I understand like logical conversations. Like, one of my
Mhm.
favorite Reddit boards is No Sodium Starfield. No
I'm
Sodium
sorry.
Starfield is no salt Starfield. Like, you can't go in there and start trash talking the game, blah blah blah, or else you'll
Don't be
get
a
banned.
salty pretzel. Got it.
Be positive. Like, this is a positive space for people that are positive about the game, and I appreciate that as somebody who I'm still like attached to like the normal Starfield board where everybody is complaining, but it makes me go back to No Sodium Starfield at like, this is my people.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like some of these people go onto these boards just to start shit because they have nothing better to do with their time and they think their opinion matters.
See, I wish I was that bored with my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I live a pretty
yeah,
boring life.
I'd much rather play video games and
And
go
sit
and
there and
complain about them.
complain.
That's probably what the issue is that these guys, they have all these games, but they never play them because they're too busy fucking console warring online. Like, why don't you? Nobody cares if you don't like the game. Just move on. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, I'm playing Locomoto. Love
Oh
that
my
game.
god.
Animal Crossing Train Simulator. It's fantastic.
Yeah, all I've been playing is Octopath Traveler as far as new things. I want to like One Lonely Outpost,
Mhm.
but there's so many words
For $30, Locomoto has been like, I already have a full day of game time into it.
already.
I already have a full 24 hours into it, yeah. But
Jeez.
it's one of those games I can just sit and play while watching TV and not mentally have to think about anything because it's one of those cozy games.
True.
You know, just one of those kind of feel good, take my time with it type of things, and I love it.
Seeing like I really wanted to play One Lonely Outpost the other day, but I was like, I don't want to learn a new thing, so I went to Stardew. Because it's like
Yeah,
the
and
same general idea, but I'm like, I don't want to like focus right now. I just want
that that
to.
that's part of the reason why I like fall off of some games. Like, I got into Adam Fall, which was very brand new to me, and I think like the lore and the world of it drew me in more. And I forced myself to learn systems, but after you learn the systems, it was a breeze.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Adam Fall review is still up, so I'm working on trying to perfect my delivery a little better when it comes to my game reviews because that was my first official game review alone.
Meow.
Looking to try and do a intro, kind of perfect my formula a little bit. Locomoto is the next game I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do that until it's done. So,
Yeah.
and with my Steam Deck, I can record like gameplay, download it later on, and like edit it, and then that will be great because I want to include gameplay into my reviews because I didn't with Adam Fall, and I kind of feel kind of shitty about that.
It's a learning process. You'll get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on YouTube to make money. I'm doing this because I like to do it,
Yeah.
and I like talking to you and whoever else decides to grace
Jump
us with
in.
their presence.
Oh yes.
But we're sitting at an hour and 4 minutes, so let's start wrapping this up, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. I am the
before we
Giga
get
Gamer Dad.
chatting.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Discord, Xbox, Steam, anywhere you can find me. My name's the same across the board. If you like us, please like and subscribe. You can like the Giga Geeks YouTube channel, Giga Gamer Dad on YouTube. We have Giga Geeks on Spotify as well. So if you want to catch up on older episodes, I always post there as well. Panda, where can they find you?
Pretty much everywhere, social media wise, under DC the Trash Panda.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming out to hang out with us tonight for the last 4 of you that are with us. Anyways, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming out. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.